Hello everyone. Today we're diving into a fundamental aspect of commercial real estate, the lease. At its core, a commercial lease is a legal contract outlining the terms and conditions under which a tenant occupies a landlord's property. It defines who is responsible for what, from rent payments to property maintenance. What's important to understand is that not all commercial leases are created equal. They come in different structures. Today we're going to focus on one of the most common and significant types, the triple net or NNN lease. So what exactly is an NNN lease? The NNN stands for triple net and it refers to the three primary operating expenses that the tenant, in addition to the base rent, is responsible for paying. These three nets are property taxes, building insurance, and common area maintenance, often abbreviated as CAM. In essence, with a triple net lease, the tenant takes on a significant portion of the property's operating costs, beyond just the rent for their specific space. The landlord, in turn, typically retains responsibility for the structural integrity of the building. Think the roof, foundation, and exterior walls. Let's break down each of the N's, starting with property taxes. These are taxes assessed by local government authorities based on the value of the property. In a triple net lease, if you're a tenant in a multi-tenant building, you'll typically pay a pro rata share of the total property taxes. This means if your space occupies 10% of the building's total square footage, you'll pay 10% of the property tax bill. It's crucial for tenants to understand that these taxes can fluctuate and generally increase over time, directly impacting their total occupancy costs. Next up is building insurance. This covers the physical structure of the building itself against perils like fire, natural disasters, or other damage. It's important to distinguish this from a tenant's own liability insurance or insurance for their personal property inside their lease space. Those are separate. Just like with property taxes, tenants in a multi-tenant triple net property will pay their pro rata share of the building's master insurance policy. While it's a necessary expense for protection, insurance premiums can also change based on claims history or market conditions. Finally, we have common area maintenance or CAM. This is often the broadest and sometimes the most debated component of triple net expenses. CAM covers all the costs associated with operating and maintaining the shared spaces and facilities of a commercial property that benefit all tenants. Think about it. The parking lot, landscaping, exterior lighting, hallways, elevators, shared restrooms, trash removal, and sometimes even property management fees. Like the other nets, you pay your pro rata share. Because the scope of CAM can be quite broad, it's often an area where tenants and their advisors scrutinize the lease very carefully to understand what's included and how it's calculated. So why are triple net leases so prevalent? They offer distinct advantages and disadvantages for both landlords and tenants. For landlords, the main advantage is a more predictable net operating income, as many of the variable expenses are passed directly to the tenant. It also reduces their day-to-day management burden. For tenants, while it seems like more responsibility, triple net leases often come with a lower advertised base rent compared to a gross lease, which we'll talk about in a later video, where all these costs are bundles. It also provides transparency, as tenants see exactly what they're paying for. In some cases, tenants in a single tenant triple net property might have more control over how these expenses are managed. However, there are downsides. For landlords, it might mean attracting tenants who understand and are comfortable with these responsibilities. For tenants, the big disadvantage is that their monthly occupancy costs can be unpredictable and fluctuate. If property taxes go up significantly or there's a big insurance premium hike, the tenant bears that burden. This can make budgeting more challenging. To summarize, remember these key points about triple net leases. First, triple net means the tenant pays their base rent plus their share of property taxes, building insurance, and common area maintenance. Second, this structure shifts a significant portion of the property's operating costs from the landlord to the tenant. Third, understanding these nets is absolutely critical for anyone involved in commercial real estate, whether you're a potential tenant, an investor, or a broker, because they directly impact the true cost of occupancy and the property's financial performance. Finally, always remember that commercial leases are complex legal documents, and professional advice is invaluable when analyzing them. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons. Leave any questions or comments that you may have below, and hopefully I can make it the subject of my next video. Let me know if you would like to see some real-life examples. Sure, this is relatively easy to do in Excel when you have less than 10 tenants. But what do you do when you have hundreds or even thousands of tenants? Let's explore and simplify that.